Hi guys, so it's time to do my hair, and I was getting ready to cut it, and my son came through and was like, hey, I'll do it. And though I was a little afraid, I decided to let him do it anyway. Hey, how can he go wrong? I keep him bald anyway. So he grabbed the clippers and went at it, and I think he did a pretty good job. He shaped me up really well, and I only wanted it cut down to a number 1 and not bald this time, and he did great. So after showering and washing my hair, let's get out these old braids. And it seemed like it took forever, but it only took 20 minutes in reality. And now that we're down to the last braid and it's been detangled, let's get into this style. Here's our hair. It is the ultra lightweight New York Short Braid in color 1B and burgundy. Now I've used this color quite a bit, the color burgundy quite a bit, but this is the first time I've used it with the color that transitions at the end, like the umbro color. So I am a little excited to see how this will turn out by this name brand. So here we go. You see me slightly stretching it so those ends will be nice and natural looking and feathered. So I don't want these little. We're going to do some jumbo box braids with rubber bands. And what you want to do here is make sure as best you can when you're doing your own hair that you get those parts as straight as possible. And you want them to look neat. And we're going to use a brick pattern to make it look full. So you'll have fewer braids, but it'll look really full. So when you're using those rubber bands, you don't want to put those rubber bands on real tight. You want to hold the hair, not break the hair off, pull the scalp out, all of this kind of stuff. You just want to hold the hair to kind of assist with getting the braid in. So just make 2-3 passes, 4 at the most with the rubber bands. Just don't have them so tight you can't move your face muscles. Okay, that's row 1, so let's get to the style and get this hair in. So we're just going to get this hair in, and we're going to braid it all the way down to the end for each braid. And we're going to see what the original length of this hair is and see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'll re-braid it and make some adjustments to the hair. Okay, so now let's get into row number 2. Here's where you want to make sure that you start your brick layer. I'll insert a picture over on your right hand side to let you know how the brick layer should look, because this is the pattern that you want to use, so it'll look full and it won't be all spacey. A lot of people, if you notice, will line those parts up thinking it looks really neat. While it does look neat, it also looks gappy and spacey, just like very unprofessional. So we're gonna give it a professional look. So you see here where I'm pointing, you want to part in the middle of that part, like the picture indicated, because this is going to make the brick layering look. So then your next part will go in the center of the part from the previous row. And the same throughout. So that part on the, for this one, will go in the center. I'm gonna show you right here. Right in the center of the braid from the previous row. So this will be your pattern all the way until you finish. So I'm gonna drop that picture here. So when you finish this row, your next row, the parts will line up with the parts in the first row. And on the fourth row, those parts will line up with the second row. So see the picture again if you don't understand the pattern. Okay, so now that we're finishing up, and that literally did not take but a few minutes to get in these braids, and I think in total I had 12 following the brick pattern that you've seen in the picture that I dropped in. And then I looked at these and they were a bit short to me, but I was going to try to make it work. Okay, make sure when you're done you want to dip these in boiling hot water for at least 30 seconds. Dipping them seals them and stops them from coming down, and it also gives them a natural relaxed feel, so they're not all stiff and bulky, and they'll lay down and be easier to style. So since the braids came up way shorter than I wanted, which they right above my breast when I hold my head up straight, I wanted them way longer so I could manipulate them and do a couple of styles with them. So I'm going to take each one down, take the hair that I have within each braid. I'm going to take a fourth of that hair and divide into two and extend the braids out in length, and also give it a better transition so it's not so fat at the base and so skimpy on the end. So there's a fourth of the braid I'm taking out, and then I'm going to take that 1/4 of the braid and I'm going to divide it into two pieces. Next, I'm going to take the biggest piece that I had and I'm going to start braiding it in first. What I'm going to do is, as this piece of hair starts to transition down, where it starts to kind of start getting thin, because my hair is so freaking thick, to help it look better, I'm going to add one of those pieces of hair in to give it a better transition so it doesn't look so odd and awkward. It'll look way more natural. So once I reach the end of my hair, which is here, I'm going to do a couple of more passes down, and then I'm going to add in this piece of hair. And if you add it in correctly, you will not be able to tell that you ever added it in. It's kind of like it's basically doing a feed-in braid. So you're going to feed it in right here. I'm going to make a couple of passes again. Bring it down where it's just transitioning, start get a little skinny, and then I'm going to add another, feed in another piece, and this is going to give it a better look and give me more length. The only thing that I didn't like about this is because of this hair, it kind of messes up the transition of the hair color some. But all in all, it turned out good still. So now I'm going to do this for each braid until I'm done. So my opinion of this hair, I love that the hair is, number one, lightweight. I love that they are not skimpy on the bundles and they put quite a bit of hair in the pack. I would use this hair for synthetic micro braids, feed-in cornrows that are rather thin, that, you know, people wouldn't want really long. I would use this for most of my children's styles and things of that sort. So yes, I would definitely purchase and use this hair for particular styles that people do not want long, because it stops me from having to prep hair and cut. So I finally got them all redone. And again, to put them in the first time and to redo them again, and all this whole entire style took me in 45 minutes, really probably an hour if you include taking it down. So I'm gonna brush it out again, because again we're gonna get ready to go to dinner as soon as I shake my shirt out and make sure there's no loose hair on me. And here's the finished look. That's style number 1. This is style number 2. Let's do style number 3. And you can add hair jewelry to this style to make it even more cuter, but I didn't want anything added to it because so many people are walking around with those decorative beads that I didn't want to have any. I wanted to be a little different, keep it plain, and just let my color pop by itself. And again, I wore this style for about 4 weeks.